All right. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, you drew.
Okay, dear friends, that is our signature sign for the beginning of a beautiful Wednesday morning. Midweek. How did Monday end? How did Tuesday end? How is Wednesday beginning? We can assure you that the God of the Methodist Church has not disappointed us. We believe He is the God of all flesh, the God of all spirits, and the God that broods on the surface of the earth in a form of the Spirit of God from the day of Genesis till date. Ono no ahwe so na waka ye ho na waba bedu samre ye de anije ene edi hia ewo Yesu Christo dimu. Welcome on board, dear friends. This is our Adabraka based. It is called the phrase.
Adabraka.
Na say Adabraka. Me no na ye adwuma. Nti me ka de na de. Sane ye ade na. All right, let's go into the scriptures now.
Anya menas wa Yesu Kristo me waka oni kane mo keje Matthew sani kwakpale icho ni jinyo mai enyo keje kuku ni jinyo mai ite ke ikpa ke ashikuku ni jinyo mai ite ke kpao ga kanyo ake chonlo teno ni ji mlale mlinkita wulule ni Yesu kele ake somo nuncho onyumole ke ochui mumfe ke osusuma mumfe ke ojwemo mumfe. Amen. And then the English reads as follows. The Gospel according to Matthew chapter 22, verses 36 to 37. Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in law? Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. The word of God.
Thanks be to God. Enti anano bidie a pabenefo a kukudam a professor fo bi ko Yesu ho se yekoso no ahwe. No call ye no. Womu bisa no. Eye ensemfo bia no onu Yesu kura no no oni omutiri ponti no na osusu na adwen kura de ato ho. Abra ne ye ade bonefo no so ma Christ kuto ebe wuje na sedi onyankopon do wiase nyina a wotimi yesadi so onyankopon do wiase no so ma ndoba de a ene ne doba no ba wiase a sa odo ya no obegina so no ode aye adwuma enti question na oba ba bisam no mekura me yodo dadada ansa na obisa. And this is the rendition of the Matthean account on what the biblicists call the greatest of all the laws in the Bible. Matthew chapter 22 verse 36 to 37. Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. Wachirechirefo emra wo de ama ana emra wo papa de ama nyina no de ne dimu de ne sosne wo mu nyina ana Yesu se mankase minimu adwen mankase minimu tirimopo monhwe emra no de so wo mu nyina ne se do nyame onyankopon nyame baako ene wakoma ene wusunsum anafi ene wadwene nyinara menu ya mesra wo untimi nyo Kristo ni abe Kristo ni fafa na ode wakoma fa adorade na wakoma fa soso de untumi mfa no rade inti de di ka o se do rade wo nyankopon ene wakoma nyina fo wakoma nyina ma no give all your heart to him de tosumienu unsunsum ati umu soso fa do rade na afi wo wie ni saa nyina de a na afi wadwe no soso eda wotiri mu soso no fado onyankopon anopei mwanom ana awro mo ntoma gofi we gwama ni moja ni mu a Christ do onyankopon do eduo mumu onyame se wodo na wono soso obedo bi. This morning we sing of the love of God and we celebrate the love of God through the MHB 410. Come ye that love the Lord. Come, ye that love the Lord, as a hymn written by the English clergy 𝗟𝗜𝗍𝗘 in the year 1707. Now, when this hymn was originally published, it was titled Heavenly Joy on Earth. Now, the hymn's 10 stanzas, though not directly based on the psalm, reflect Watts' practice of adapting the scripture for devotional poetry. And it has been set to various tunes, including We Are Marching On to Zion. Isaac Watts, often called the fathers of English hymnology, wrote the hymn. He was a member of an independent congregation in England, as said earlier. Now, the hymn first appeared in Watts' Hymns, Spiritual Songs in his book 1707. The hymn focuses on the joy of believers and the anticipation of a celestial worship, with some stanzas and touching on earth and worshiping together in the presence of God, even on earth, and joy. Watts believed that one of the main ways to raise godly passion and affection is to contemplate the nature and perfections of God and consider the amazing instances of providence and grace which has manifested in the world. The men of grace have found glory and began below. Celestial fruit on earthly ground, from faith and hope may grow. Then let our songs abound and every tear be dry, and we marching through Emmanuel's ground to a fairer world on high. May God bless you. May His love continue to lead us. And may all of us continue to love God with all our hearts, with all our soul, and with all our mind. Enunti, Christ in you. Christ in you. Christ in you. Wofen. Wofen. Miakata. I will serve
the church.
Brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers, the world. This is how we do it here. It is your favorite Christian morning show in the whole of this country. Sorry, Nashrain. All right, let's box on with the itinerary for the morning.
All right, and so today's the bigger part of the show is dedicated to 𝗟𝗡𝗄. And so the 𝗟𝗡𝗄 members will be here, the executives will be here to tell us what they know and what you or your questions will be all about. So don't forget to get interactive with us. Leave your thoughts on all our social media platforms, and we'll be here to answer either your question or the comments that you will be leaving on our social media platform. But we are asking, what do you know about 𝗟𝗡𝗄? And so please, whatever you know, do all to get interactive with us. When the phone lines are open, do all to engage us as well. But we'll bring you the Wesleyan News update. We'll also come back with the newspaper headlines. We'll take a look at our health and then some insurance minutes as well. In the meantime, there will be the road segment, and our news analyst, Dr. Justice 𝗟𝗑𝗡 will join us because it's Wednesday. And so whatever stories we'll be reading right from now, please do all to listen carefully. And if you have any thoughts, any comments, any questions, you can do so when the time or the phone lines are open for you to call in. In the meantime, all our birthday celebrants, we wish you well, and we hope that you enjoy your year to the fullest. But send us your picture, send us a message on our WhatsApp line, and then later during the show we'll also come and wish you a happy birthday.
All right, thank you very much. Sponsors: 𝗟𝗡𝗙 Insurance, Methodist University, Alan Cash Travel and Tours, Barbrella Clothing, as well as Willis Scholarship. Thank you so much. The Water People, Wesleyan Dew, Edamasiensa Multi Credit. We go to Kumasi and we are heavily indebted, and our hearts of gratitude goes to the Freeman Methodist Guest House. Or to all our viewers, yenomo na ye adwuma no. Enti ye den na yakase ye nam wanse. Munni ho a ye ni ho. Mo na sese mo ye numero 1. O ma ye number 1. I mean, this show keeps growing and growing. Yesterday I was somewhere, somewhere in the corridors of power, somewhere, and even in those places they could still identify this is the Methodist or software who is on that show. Minyanya presenter. Minisa anointing me a Methodist software. Now people are even putting my real profession away, and it is fine. I mean, that's what we do, Methodist software. All right. Yeah, that's it. You're from your software, Adzika Vincent Agbamanya. I say me a Methodist software. To share me, baby, I Methodist software, and I offer me. Mene.
I told me, Miss Na.
All right. Yeah, could try one by a bar. The America 10th Ebeko Studio 2. Now for news, a coach you call Bremai Mesna Edia Brain. Good morning.
Hooray! The Methodist University College Ghana has received a presidential charter to become Methodist University Ghana, the prestigious university that delivers quality education to empower you to become an all-round scholar in developing academic excellence. Is calling on suitably qualified persons for admission to postgraduate, undergraduate, diploma, and certificate programs and courses in nursing, educational assessment and evaluation, guidance and counseling, psychology, economics, HRM and management studies, marketing and supply chain management, communication, IT, accounting, social work, ports and shipping management, PhD in education, and many more. Take advantage of our 30% discount on fees for all 𝗦𝗎𝗄 candidates and discounts for all Methodists on all programs at MUG. We have campuses in Dansoman, Tema, and 𝗦𝗎𝗄, which run day, evening, and weekend sessions. Mature entrance exams are also available. Admissions are ongoing and are done in January and August every year. For enquiries, call 0558 309059 or visit mug.edu.gh. MUG, the rich brand. 𝗦𝗎𝗄, we have the zeal to educate.
KFK Foods is an award-winning world-class restaurant with over 10 years experience in both local and continental dishes. We render services for parties, cafeteria services for schools and hospitals, individuals, corporates and institutions, as well as groups who want to treat their partners to delicious meals and services. We have all local and international dishes including banku with tilapia, fufu with light soup, fried rice with grilled or fried chicken, assorted fried rice, fish with chips, noodles and spaghetti, pizzas, pastries, shawarma, beef and chicken sauces. All kinds of breakfast baskets in Accra. Locate us at the Ambassadorial Enclave on the first floor of the Wesley Towers at 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. from Monday to Saturday. In Tema, locate us at Community 25 Annex, where the event center is located at 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. from Monday to Sunday. For all orders, call us on 0244 637647 or WhatsApp us on 050 33171153. KFK Foods, you deserve it. Do you need quality and professional ministerial attire? Be it cassock, clerical shirts, stoles, preaching gowns, preaching bands, wedding gowns, and sanctuary vestments, then your best destination is the Methodist Investments and Properties Limited, MIPL. Individuals and churches can also contact MIPL for their African wear, both male and female, curtains, church or institutional anniversary clothing, Friday wears, mufflers, diaries, liturgy books, souvenirs, badges, Lacoste and t-shirts, among others. MIPL produces natural fruit juice such as ginger, pineapple, mango, millet, banana, as well as specially prepared ginger powder to boost your daily vitality. MIPL Property Management is also available to both individuals and corporate institutions in managing your property and providing investment solutions. Locate MIPL office at the Grant House inside Adabraka, Accra for your businesses at affordable prices, or call us on 0242 122 787. If you are looking for an office space which is spacious with a car park, 24-hour security, standby generator, then look no further. The Grant House building is up for rent and is located adjacent the Holy Spirit Cathedral, Accra. Call us on 0242 122 787. Hello and welcome to the Wesleyan News Update right here on Wesleyan Television. We are coming to you live from our studios at the Grant House at Adabraka, Accra. Coming up in this bulletin, visiting Czech president criticizes U.S. tariff on African countries. Government to sanction officials who commence projects without approval from the Finance Ministry. Minority petitions diplomatic court to help government probe controversial flights saga. Transport Minister reveals government's plan to shortlist potential partners for a new national airline. Now let's settle for the details. Government has ordered the immediate suspension of all post-retirement contract appointments for retired public service staff across the country. The directive, issued on April 2, 2025 and signed by the Secretary to the President, Dr. 𝗟𝗏𝗄, announced the halt to the granting of such appointments with immediate effect. The directive further indicated that all current or future requests of contract extensions involving retired personnel would no longer be entertained. It's concluded with a firm reminder for full compliance, instructing all relevant authorities to adhere strictly to the new directive. President of the Czech Republic, 𝗟𝗏𝗄𝗿, has strongly criticized the United States for imposing sweeping tariff on African countries, including Ghana, without prior consultation or negotiation. He described the move as brutal and unfortunate, calling for a return to multilateral and rule-based trade discussions. Speaking during a joint press conference with President Mahama at the Jubilee House on Tuesday, April 8, 2025, President 𝗟𝗏𝗄𝗿 said the tariffs risk harming global economies and disproportionately affect vulnerable nations. The United States, under a recent policy shift, introduced tariffs ranging from 10% and 50% on imports from dozens of countries. While the White House have argued the move is aimed at protecting American industry, critics have warned that it threatens economic stability in less privileged nations. The Czech leader urged a united international response to engage the United States diplomatically. President John Mahama echoed the Czech leader's sentiment, lamenting the undermining of a globally accepted rule-based trading system. He highlighted the case of Lesotho, which received a 46% tariff, warning of the damaging impact on fragile economies. The remarks were made during the Czech President's three-day visit to Ghana, where the two leaders also discussed bilateral ties, trade cooperation, and future collaborations between Ghana and Czech. The Finance Minister, Dr. 𝗟𝗏𝗄𝗏𝗿, has announced that no government contract will be approved without prior commencement authorization from the Ministry of Finance effective April 3, 2025. The directive was delivered at a recent meeting with chief directors and senior officials from various ministries, departments and agencies, MMDAs, where Dr. 𝗟𝗏𝗄𝗏 made it clear that the days of unchecked contract approvals are over. The minister explained that every government contract must now obtain commencement authorization. Dr. 𝗟𝗏𝗄𝗏 underscored that this is not just an administrative change but a legal mandate under the amended Public Financial Management Act 2025. He warned that any breach of this directive will attract serious consequences. The minister called on all public officials to uphold the highest standards of integrity and patriotism in the management of public funds. He emphasized that Ghana's path to fiscal responsibility begins with strict adherence to budget implementation processes, transparency and accountability across all levels of government. The minority in Parliament has formally petitioned the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps and Ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Maher Kier, to intervene in the ongoing controversy surrounding the alleged suspicious flight from Gran Canaria that landed at the Kotoka International Airport. In a statement issued on Tuesday, April 8, 2025, and signed by the ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee, the minority appealed to the diplomatic community to support Ghanaian authorities in investigating the alleged landing of two Air Med flights and a 𝗟𝗏𝗄𝗏𝗏 Air cargo flight that reportedly transported suspected illicit drug and money into the country. The request follows a press conference held by the minority on April 1, 2025, during which they raised serious national security concerns and called on state authorities to probe the mysterious flight. President John Mahama subsequently directed state investigative agencies to look into the matter. However, the Minister of State in charge of government communications, Honorable Felix Quarcoo, has since dismissed the allegations, describing the investigations as a waste of time. Contrary to the minister's claim that the Air Med flight originated from Luanda, the minority caucus says its independent checks have confirmed that both flights arrived directly from Gran Canaria. Additionally, doubts have emerged over the flight history of the 𝗟𝗏𝗄𝗏𝗏 aircraft, as no evidence has been found to support the claims that it flew into Ghana on the stated dates. The statement cited key international conventions, including the UN Convention Against Illicit Traffic of Narcotics Drug and the UN Convention Against Transnational Organized Crime, as binding obligations requiring Ghana to act decisively against such crimes. Now, the Feed Ghana program is set to be officially launched by President John Mahama on Saturday, April 12, 2025. Initially planned for April 11, the launch date was rescheduled to accommodate other critical government activities. The event will take place at the Methodist School Park in 𝗟𝗡𝗏, Bono East region. Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture John 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗘 shared the announcement on social media on April 8, 2025, emphasizing the significance of this flagship initiative. The Feed Ghana program aims to revolutionize the agricultural sector, addressing food security challenges and enhancing productivity across the nation. The launch is expected to draw key stakeholders, including policymakers, farmers, and development partners, as government reiterates its commitment to transforming Ghana's agricultural landscape. The program is poised to provide vital support to farmers, improve food systems, and contribute to the nation's economic growth. The Minister for Transport, 𝗟𝗍𝗍𝗘, has revealed that government is actively seeking partnerships to establish a national airline, acknowledging that Ghana's current economic challenges makes it difficult to undertake the project independently. Speaking to staff of the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, 𝗟𝗍𝗍𝗘 shared that a short list of potential partners will soon be revealed as part of efforts to bring the national airline to life. Ghana has been without a national carrier for nearly 2 decades since the suspension of operations due to a U.S. ban linked to operational debts. The country's original national airline, Ghana Airways, operated from 1958 until it ceased operations in 2004. It was succeeded by the Ghana International Airlines, which served as the national carrier from 2005 to 2010, before also becoming defunct. Efforts to revive a national airline gained momentum in September 2022, when Ashanti Airlines was selected to partner with government. The move reignites hope for the launch of the rebranded Ghana Airlines after receiving interests and bids from multi-stakeholders. Persons willing to operate a commercial motorcycle or tricycle, popularly known as Okada, can only do so if they belong to a recognized tricycle transport union or are employed by a licensed commercial motorcycle company. The provision to limit eligibility to membership of a recognized union and the need for riders to be at least 25 years of age is part of the new legislative instrument, LI, being drafted to amend the existing one, the Road Traffic Regulations 2012, LI 2180. Speaking at the National Stakeholder Consultation in Accra on Monday, April 7, the draft LI 2180, the Minister for Transport, 𝗟𝗍𝗍𝗘, said the government was introducing a new licensing regime to enhance the monitoring of commercial motorcycles and tricycles and ensure that operators met the necessary competency standards. The consultative meeting brought together representatives from the Motor Traffic and Transport Department, MTTD, of the Ghana Police Service, the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GPRTU, the Association of Okada Riders, the heads of relevant agencies and departments, industry practitioners, civil society organizations, and transport operators. Anybody who flouts the provision when it becomes law by operating a motorcycle or tricycle for fare-paying passenger services in contravention of Sub-Regulation 1 commits an offense and is liable to a pay fine of 100 penalty units or to be a term of imprisonment or both. Motorcycles and tricycles have become a crucial part of our transport ecosystem over the past decade. They are especially useful for last-mile journeys and in areas where traditional paratransit vehicles, trotro, and taxis find it challenging to go. They do the job. In some of our urban centers, mostly in the northern part of the country, motorcycles and tricycles have literally replaced traditional public transport vehicles. Now, the police in the Upper East region have launched a manhunt for 𝗟𝗓𝗏, who is a suspect for defrauding 230 job seekers out of the 2.8 million under the pretext of securing them employment in state security and educational services. 𝗟𝗓𝗏, who has been in hiding, allegedly collected funds from victims between March and November 2024 with the false promise of facilitating job placement in various government agencies. He further assured the victims that their money would be refunded if he failed to deliver on his promise. After more than a year without fulfilling any of the promised placements, 𝗟𝗓𝗏 reportedly cut all contact with the victims and disappeared. Following numerous unsuccessful attempts to retrieve their monies, the victims lodged complaints with the Bolgatanga police, prompting investigations that led to the arrest of one of 𝗟𝗓𝗏's accomplices. The warrant of 𝗟𝗓𝗏's arrest was subsequently secured from the Bolgatanga Circuit Court. Police intelligence suggests the suspects may be hiding in Accra or Tamale, or possibly even Australia. Authorities are appealing to the public to provide any information that could lead to the arrest. Anyone with credible information on the whereabouts of 𝗟𝗓𝗏 is urged to contact the nearest police station, the police spokesperson has said. That'll be all for the Wesleyan News updates. Thank you so much for watching. For more news, log on to any of our social media platforms.
This is the time, no more delay. Yes, yes, yes. I'm so excited. This is the time. No more delay. Call a friend to call another, that it is time for the young people to connect right here on WTV. Welcome to 𝗟𝗏𝗏, where we connect youth to Christ. The future is here.
All right, and so welcome back. Thank you for joining us on this segment, and it is from the papers. This is where we bring you all the headlines of the major newspapers across the country. Our first paper this morning is the Daily Graphic, and it says that opioids abuse destroying nation's youth. Renowned psychiatrist sounds alarm. Some paragraphs begins on the front page, the rest on page 3. TDC invites Iyoko to probe procurement breaches. Page 13 has the details. Page 13 again says that Ghana Bauxite Company targets 6 million tons production this year. And GTech warns of abuse of honorary degrees. That story is also on page 20 of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Grab a copy for yourself. Now, the Daily Guide. It says that Ghana Bauxite Company targets 6 million tons by year end. Page 3 has the details. Page 3 again says that minority petitions diplomatic corps over air-med flights saga. Page 6, we will tackle trade barriers, Commonwealth Secretary General. More ECG cables meters found in Takoradi and Kumasi. Page 6 also has this story. Away from that, it says 7 soldiers remanded over civilian deaths in Kumasi. And so all these stories and many more inside the Daily Guide newspaper. The Ghanaian Times, the most authoritative newspaper, says digitization of Lands Commission, $165 million required to implement. Lands Minister is saying this, and we have a picture of Mr. Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa. Now, Ghana Bauxite Company targets 6 million tons production by year end. Page 14 has the details. President launches Feed Ghana program in Techiman on Saturday. Bono Reseg resolves to end conflict between cattle herders and farmers. Ghana Dyslexia Advocate wins Global Champion Award. Page 17 of the most authoritative newspaper, the Ghanaian Times, has the details. Now, the Chronicle newspaper, the Spear of the Nation, GBC targets 6 million tons of bauxite, invest 122 million USD in infrastructure. Alleged cocaine at KIA, minority rights to diplomatic community. 𝗟𝗏𝗡𝗙 charges Lands Commission to work towards restoring its credibility. And so grab a copy of the Chronicle newspaper, get to read all of the stories from there. The Daily Dispatch. Ghana Bauxite Company declares our operations to adhere to ecological regulations. Page 2 has the details. We do not engage services of land guards. Zoom Lion Limited. See story on page 12 of the Daily Dispatch. These and many other stories inside the paper. The Daily Statesman. Minority petitions diplomatic community over alleged cocaine flights to Ghana. Page 2 has the story. Now, Minister admits COVID-19, Russia-Ukraine war impact. Lands Commission tasked to rebuild public trust. And then on trade investment at the heart of Commonwealth renewal. Ibrahim Mahama fingered in illegal MMDCE nominations. And so, the Daily Statesman has the details of all of these stories and many more. The Accra Times, Ghanaians salute Japa and team for arresting fugitive Nigerian businessman amid allegations of protection by former NPP government. Page 12 has the details. Confusion rocks NPP as party executives shy away from Adwoa and seek to hide their incompetence behind alleged drug scandal. Ayariga is a real gentleman. Afenyomakin admits some P. Yali is gone forever. Speaker Bagbin weeps as he pays emotional tributes to a comrade and a brother. Show proof, not propaganda. Benjamin Kofi Kwashi is saying this, and it's inside the Accra Times newspaper. Now, the Herald newspaper, Ibrahim Mahama quells fugitive Nigeria's road rage, guns and power play. IGP ECG boss first casualties of Mahama's no post-retirement contract directive. Minority runs under after diplomatic intervention in Gran Canaria cocaine flights claim. Czech president condemns U.S. tariff on Ghana, others as unilateral and harmful. Ioko sniffs corruption at Rage Hospital. GBC boss tenure in limbo over missing presidential approval. The Herald newspaper has all of these stories. The Business and Financial Times, Bank of Ghana pushes for industry-led consolidation to reform SDI sector. $2 billion spent annually on foreign shipping services. Chamber of Shipping is saying this. Now, CBG appoints Dr. 𝗟𝗏𝗡𝗘 as new managing director. Page 3 has the details. 𝗟𝗏𝗡𝗘 as Board of Trustees Chair, National Mining Museum Project. And so these are the stories on the business front. We'll end with a junior graphic. He still glances at me. Page 6 has the details. And Madiba K, the third, wins silver medal at chess championship. Well, some paragraphs on the front page, the rest continues on page 3. Now it says symbols of Easter, 10 on page 7 for that details. And so if you have your ward at home, please do go to buy the junior graphic for your ward and let him or her read more of the stories inside the paper. Thank you so much for joining us on this segment. But before we go, let's turn our attention to the screen and look at our word of the day. So the word there was 𝗟𝗍𝗍, and it means that attracting some form of eyeballs to you through your brilliance. And so if something is quite brilliant and something is interesting, then if it draws your attention as well, then it means that it's 𝗟𝗍𝗍. Thank you so much for joining us on this segment. We'll be back with 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗡. Do all to stay.
Yen in church, Jumedia Sronqua, Methodist, Yasha at the air breb, in church, so you best see a dear, Afa, the new Efayang coupon, yes, to Christo, home, Kong, and the sunny to your Gidiamo Anamo. A bit pence and pence, a Gidiano Fappem. Yen church, you be pisa, you best see a neighbor whom. Kayawe, na yen see a the hour yen church, so yen church, ye ma Gidiano at the hope pepe.
So much for joining us on today's edition of 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗡. We started a discussion on addiction, and so we are taking a look at the stages of addiction. Our guest is ready to tell us more.
There's a stage called experimental stage. In the it's possible say you have not taken any of the substance before for the first time. Then you go and take maybe alcohol. Party, it happens in parties, and I say beer gatherings. I say of late in Lankasano, the world has become in such a way. Say, you see, alcohol parties where people smoke weed. Any idea organized by the smoke weed, they use shisha, and it becomes normal. It's a normal norm now. Into your mind, will be what he hasn't used before. The first time of use an experimental, probably somebody gave it to you, and I said by a form of curiosity, wanted to see how it is, and you took it. The first time, you know, what happens is that there are two individuals. There's an individual be funny for the first time. Not how his composition is, you know. He may decide, oh, na alcohol, ni na mempe. That person is lucky. There are some people like that. But there's another person, maybe not offer alcohol, he had some feeling. You idea of euphoria. When you take substances, you feel some high and that's enjoyment. So it's possible, say, the second person offer and onyasa euphoria, no. And I added up with maybe not or shy. And if you are partner, so you or baby kasaya, man benefit. Well, such a person will go ahead and use it again. It's very encouraging. And our brain is such a way, say your brain will not on pebble. What you say? Yeah, you part pebble. What they want is the brain itself has a reward system for substances. For substance, our brain gives you more reward than you eat or do any activity. They have higher rewards. Into faster our brain or no, you activate it. Because feeling now on so no one or more are feeling. So some people are unfortunate, they go to the other stage. And Quarcoo is a recreational stage, which is also not bad. Experimental is see maybe a nemapon, more bank mapon, maconum samba, which people accept. I mean, as a therapist, no me, say open once a while. I don't think I have an issue with him. Because one guy's test says it's not a problem. There's no medical issue, whether minor or major. So there are a lot of people like that who are doing recreational use. I get, but it depends on the substance. What do I say? It depends on the substance. Say, maybe say we need cocaine. A man say cocaine and the hard drugs. You cannot use them like I'm saying, but we can use alcohol as an example. Because there are some people who have used alcohol entirely their life and they have been using it recreationally. I know you're at that stage, but it's unfortunate. Say those people can move to a stage called the abuse stage. Abuse stage is also a stage as you see. Now, people around you will be telling you about your use of the alcohol or whatever, and they'll be prompting you. At the abuse stage, one can say, the way now which means it is getting somewhere bad. Then after abuse, then we come to addiction. Addiction, addiction is a stage there's something called withdrawals. Withdrawals are uncomfortable signs and symptoms which occur when a person wants to stop on his own without help. So they go through bizarre way. In the ones on almost so they have no started say hallucinate. Now I say be chasing on near the was there almost so their solution will go back to drink again. So that's a withdrawal. And after that, we have something called tolerance. Tolerance near Nipano offer everyone say bottle back in a debut or no. A baby no, or no be 10 of these bottles, oh nyasa high no, and enjoyment no penno. That is tolerance. Almost try to make it down, and then your mind it doesn't succeed. Now about they are powerless and they can't manage a no man can get it. And now you realize they don't have to do anything than to continue using what they are doing, and that will keep them cool, like how life should be for them. So at this stage, you can say the person is actually sick and they need help. Yeah, because that has become part of them, and they can't do anything than to continue using unless they are helped to stop.
And as I said, Ojimre Eshe Apomuding and then so Echna Sanjimre Nashen near Etwasono. And I say, I knew how by the insurance minute ever twaso.
Ojo, let's say, oh, foul. Coco I am team. Anyway, feel Mr. Pains. Oh, Miss Mena Jobio. Test bio any capsules. So the mawa. Say Coco I am team. Why feel menstrual pains in a timid. Namison and say why feel yare or choir sabia. And no missy when you're malaria. Me call ya no mammy malamis. Me buy an and ben malamis say wifey. And you don't know crown what to see say. Me cry when yamekwa. Or mammy tonic be. Bra. Mrs. say me share to move.
Hey, honey, into a baba na can want some son.
Oh, baby. Oh, my baby. And you were Chenenso, open for, or bad time, or my abofrano for, and I abofra only in fear to me 8 me for said
Enroy, Obanya Biato, our pharmacy shop, herbal shops, and over-the-counter medicine at 0599 415191 0544174461 and 0208 161800.
Welcome back to Insurance Minute, and it's brought to you by 𝗟𝗏𝗘 Insurance Company. Today on Insurance Minute, we'll take a look at the marine insurance policy. But this policy protects your cargo, protects your hull or your machinery at the terminals against dangers or losses with the variety of the marine insurance covers, and it provides cover for your marine cargo, your aviation cargo, your protection, indemnity, aviation hull, and the marine hull, as well as the passenger and the general goods on board that cargo as well. So if you are able to buy this insurance policy and you are an importer or you are an exporter, you can fall on this insurance policy as and when there are any issues concerning it. If you need more information on this, please go onto their website, info@𝗟𝗏𝗘insurance.com, or you can visit any of their social media platforms or their call lines. You can also walk into any of their offices nationwide across all 16 regions, but in Accra you'll find them in Osu behind the Presbyterian Church. Get interactive with them and get to know more. And remember, if you're able to buy that policy or sign on to that policy, always pay your premiums on time. Thank you so much for joining us on Insurance Minutes. It was brought to you by 𝗟𝗏𝗘 Insurance Company.
This is 𝗟𝗏𝗘. He's a good guy, but cannot stay away from unnecessary attention and flex. Yes! He received this brand new car from a relative abroad to work with, but decides to wait for a while before registering it. So now, with this uninsured vehicle and a DV plate, he flexes in every corner of the city. Hey. Don't be like 𝗟𝗏𝗘. Insure your unregistered vehicle with the chassis number with 𝗟𝗏𝗘 motor policy and stay covered.
You can also take other policies such as personal accident insurance, fire and flood, money insurance, contractors all risk, and others. Done well insurance. If it must be done, it must be done well.
Under the distinguished patronage of our founding churches, the Methodist, Presbyterian, Anglican, the Evangelical Presbyterian, the AME Zion, and other affiliate churches of Ghana, the Boys and Girls Brigade Councils of Ghana present the Brigade's Hour. Hallelujah! A stimulating and instructive hour-long, made-for-you TV magazine extravaganza featuring lively archival recap of the history of the Boys and Girls Brigades as international and domestic ecumenical, non-denominational, regimented Christian organizations. Join us on the extensive journey of discovery of the 4 core pillars of all our programs: the physicality of our camping, expedition, and drills, the spiritually uplifting praise, worship, and intensive Bible study for all our boys and girls in our company meetings, highly educational content of our artificial intelligence and robotic contact sessions for all our boys and girls, and our extensive basic and command courses for all our officers. As for the social fit and balance, we rely on recreation, sports, and our youth parliament. Take a cozy front seat and soak in our captivating segments: district, regional, and national reports, denominational reports, international briefs, and the frills and thrills, Brigade Drills. Be interactive with us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and WhatsApp, and win excellent prizes on our monthly GB and BB quiz as you join us on phone. Is the Brigade Hour showing live on WTV and PCGTV on Wednesdays at these exclusive times. GB, seek, serve, follow Christ. BB, sure and steadfast. Brigade's Hour. Oh, you Dawson, Toffee.
This is the Freeman Methodist Guest House Limited. It is a luxurious and comfortable guest house in the heart of Kumasi. Our guest house features a range of modern and spacious rooms, each with its private bathroom and amenities. Our guests can enjoy various on-site facilities, including a restaurant, conference halls, event center, spacious car park, CCTV cameras, lifts, generator, and many more. We are conveniently located opposite the Wesley College of Education near the Swami Roundabout in Kumasi and are easily accessible by public transportation. We look forward to welcoming you to the Freeman Methodist Guest House Limited. Contact us by telephone 050-650-8591 or 050-650-8592, or you can email us at fmghlghana@gmail.com or use our website www.fmghotelghana.com. Freeman Methodist Guest House, where serving you is our delight.
All right, asemi dika mwana beka miaro miara osofu ajika mia na meka so ahwe na wamfa kola bi amba chire miu dabi me pacho me Methodist sofo inti me kan said the Christ say anke ne Christ wo Ghana said the obeka no we try to bring an in-depth analysis into the discussions revolving around our news items. Now, we have decided to be apolitical and we have decided to be Christian in all our deliberation. To also freyenia, mesre, now this is why a Christo ni mapa enkanchiano kane pepepe. Kawakuma so asem, kawadwene so asem, nemum enye ubi nidiemu. Is an say meso for software jikamidi nidia mapa. It's a Wednesday. Na eba Wednesday so sad ya munim say osofo apia kubi ana obaba betina eye ekonwa iti mesre ya wonu Methodist ni bonus Methodist confirm no Methodist moko Methodist school prempe afi nyame ya na dom no kwa bruchire baaya wo se esom no sisi wakofa ho afo som ni bi ana wadi akata
mangofa ho afo som dia. Actually, also when at the compound pa reason Emma me free Methodist. Enya brocha me call you. Because say na me ma me ta
ko ba ye no wan ko Methodist.
Na me ma me ta transfer no. Or hwesi si a offer kwasem ka say. Emma good morning. Tafo Methodist when I chia mo.
Me de bia me ka say.
Na there be enti because of my mom and my dad are watching right now. My dad kept on being transferred to different places and most of the time my mom was with him. So since I met transfer na be same school, you know. And my papa
no mun na your teacher for.
My dad was working with Ministry of Health.
Okay.
And the buy and say when I moved to stay with my auntie who was actually not a distant, and as a young boy teenager I started going with them to Church of Pentecost. And then eventually, what Church of Pentecost, you know, at that time, my Kumasi sorry in a near and Cambrofo. And I get one of those people, and I get Pembrofo Kakra. The Assemblies of God for English service, I say.
And we Pentecost Assemblies of God. Yeah. And from Assemblies of God, you know. And I hear our bias.
Maybe that's me call preaching, and I'm a missionary with the Assemblies of God.
Now, pay sorry a Cambrofo, and your Methodist.
Nah, maybe Brofo, then inviting,
come find us and
well, good morning to each and everyone. And now none of pay. Ya Chelbia and they Ukwada de Unimi there. Rafiki Day. So Rafiki for a Shamunina, Obi obet my boy Kakredia, Madaruma, Momoy. I think set the number Neda. Yeah, the number is there.
We are the future of the nation. We cry aloud. We cry aloud for your help. Rafiki, Jawad.
Thank you. So far, we might not starting where we are starting. All right, thank you, Rafiki. Thank you so much. All right, ye jumadi so ye gonna say and nedue the
Boys Brigade,
National Brigade. I mean, association of brigades. Until you are looking at the Boys Brigade and at the Girls Brigade, you know, you say, Omo de Omo Nina Toma Elbano. Omo Nina, they work under one council. And Oma say they are bringing a certain wonderful program to your screen. Yatunidi said the Brigade Hour. And this is happening today, and it's going to be from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. And this will be live on WTV. Munina munim. Ya bra, ya papa Moses fo amweni ono ana udisa ikui mienu nyina nimu a womoba studio ha no mo the maiden edition of the Brigade Hour. Now we want to assure you, say, this will also be telecasted on other 2 television networks, into the PCG TV and the Adwal TV as well. But eba social media handles also at Bibia Ebitimi Ewi Epeyo. So let's all join to celebrate the Boys and Girls Brigade. Enti omochia BB na omososo ajeso. Na fi yachia GB na omososo ajeso. And so that's how we are going exactly by 4. Make sure say ubetimi atinechiri. All right, let's come back to the studio. It is a good morning to all our viewers. Now let's go to my first story and straight away to the presidency. Now the presidency directs suspension of all post-retirement contracts in the public service. People have called on this for a very, very long time. Say, we Jumayo either say or call the prior compulsory retirement at age 55 and I say age 60 where we now for your son for say BBF no post retirement and over universities now in the Taiwan hop. I don't know whether this is going to affect them but directive is a directive. Now the government has ordered the immediate suspension of all post-retirement contracts appointment for retired public servants across the country. Well, teachers are also public servants.
Yes, and this thing happened to my mother during the previous, I think, NDC government. I think that was during that time or something. Abrewa has been a trained teacher for how many years already? I'm an experienced one for that matter. Then, so no, I say me come anymore. Ako wini ba kusua dia boni degree we obaya se busimi mienu pe
age nature
busimi mienu pe ne de pam no agosia na now sorry
pam no odu ni statutory retirement age.
Normally this is the thing. Okay, first and foremost, I really agree with President Mahama and what he want to do, because the youth employment is already too
youth unemployment. You mean
youth unemployment? Sometimes, you know, the biana I say the old distance be maybe but the issue I say President Mahama said yes, and this time I feel Nancy form.
Yes, also with immediate effect.
Yes, I feel Nancy form now. Yeah, so
also for the question people have asked, and they say, yes, there is wisdom in gray hair, there is wisdom in old age. But say old age, the younger people will not have the opportunity to also be employed as well. This also brings to mind what mentorship is.
Thank you. I was going there.
When I would train, you say, And we all must put this on our mind in that regard.
Exactly. In fact, that's where I was going. Say, some campaign for no kuta some succession plan be near the training amount for. Nancy Bianca, ya retire mokra maybe I more about 6 months be. It's also to continuously train people. Because Kodaki or no word you man on person or bekono be abent or no go training will be near me in free home. Into Bankia retire mono. And I said before very time say be I retire 60 and ka udru 56 and ka and I said be I udru 58 yes said that amount something really big deal be anakaja with the trainee or more ban say because they say you cannot be successful without a successor. That is the thing. Now, the other side of the coin, there are some maybe we still need those experienced people.
Oh, definitely.
We still really need those experienced. It means I hope we say any blanket statement. For now, no, it always must be blanket statement.
You know, it's a direct. It also from immediately.
So now, no, but as time goes on, no, then maybe you begin to say, okay, about energy sector where there is a manager for a while, but no so crano a man the usual party thing and usual party thing.
Well, I mean, what the presidency has said with immediate effect, you know, I mean, the inclusion criteria is anyone who has gotten to the statutory retirement age. And said the making, I mean, on our university campuses, those are very
hey, remember also.
I mean, public servant is a public servant.
Big professors Beko.
Well, I don't know how the universities will treat this, but so but also what to coin.
I know where I'm going.
But the bear say, in my opinion, as for Monka Yasemi my we actually fear retirement. The average Ghanaian has a phobia against retirement. And say, well, retire so cool.
We know why.
I have had a lot of my clients, a lot of my patients go through this. We do retirement. Also, when they are at retirement, and this starts when it is some 2 years, 1 more year into retirement. To me, per 2 years. To why we you know managing year once on
it is because number one, okay, according to some numbers, because hey, the way the white people love retirement is exactly the opposite of the way the Kodak is. Hey, Brony be retire, Nenya because on himself no baby did there. Yes, so they all retire himself no baby.
Oh, retire. Enti me no me retirement seminar bi. Emma a group of Yakra Methodist for your tire head office tire say you pay for never call retirement. Yeah, they have started 10 years. And I think the Methodist Church is doing something very important. We must commend presiding form umutwem and a preside oho. Anytime the Methodist minister has 10 more years to retirement. You start here seminars.
Okay.
You start here, and you maybe to say your will, your will or properties, financial management. I go to teach on health and stress management during retirement. And when me flip it to the other side when we say it is not given to the others. It's and say obroni no your man retirement package
he can barely wait to enjoy.
Ghana retirement package man ye dey ma na wo call retirement pa na sika wo di kofi inara 32,000 Ghana.
And your lady here I know. That is the thing. And so number one, let's government consciously and conscientiously see to it say your package deal, you know, you be any kakra. And then na for time na miniha, but I thought that also the tier 2, tier 3, 10 came.
Yes.
And this kakra fizzle out.
Oh no, fizzle out. The tier 2 and the tier 3 are still.
Still there.
No, it's a law. All the 3 tiers in a year.
A year, Juma, but I'm talking about the implementation of it.
Oh, it's not. Ejuma 40 do. But let's even imagine say tiers in na yate. We know where tier 1 goes, tier 2 goes, and where tier 3 goes. Okay. domestic debt exchange program by into the tier 2 ni tier 3 nyina akọ to ho wo hwe se nyame ben na ndom no areta na akra ana abrewa wetimi ato ne so pese no wato na duru kakra madam Vivi kana san so unya ko retirement ade aka unyina anyway duru anyway so pese but retiree ni spese over 3 years 4 years on so san space so enim di for kire se space die enya di 2 years pe sasa ni sika so de to tier 2 tier 3 no so no DDP abeje
but some no many the NCBM I'm really praying say
enya sio wiem
and I'm say NCBM I didn't say NCO NCBM they go for the year and the duo my body
well ahwefo minim say we opening bia wadwuma mu a we 60 and above and I said now we 55 now call retirement and we asan fro say bra na beboa the president has said say imprint with immediate effect will be biara wedru sa compulsory age you know na kotena fi ura Kalistos Mahama edensa ashase said the omampani say one can what are the pros and cons say ye shake the ABC or retirement say why ye preparation wo bibia o ba bedaso wo fie kakra wo de block mienu miensa bi eto ho ana say o kwa koda ye efie edemu. These are matters arising. Yenim say we are going to talk about it in the days to come. All right. So the point of experience cannot be underestimated.
Not at all.
Okay, but sometimes draconian measures are also important to make the system work.
Exactly.
Experience is good, but can we also say middle age, you know, experience once we cut, because already the trade union is sorry to speak.
Yeah, the trade union, what they are saying to me is neither here nor there. Sometimes people want to talk and they want to talk. Let them talk. At the end of the day, a two mommy, but at the long run, I thought to say, anyway, in Chirimansu Medibi, that's the first thing. The main problem is say, let our package for retirement, you know, and ya fekakra, intimate trouble from pa. Awful. As we could buy the armor hitting me power. So a bravo pa, they can hardly wait for retirement. Not your I just yeah, on it. Oh, Pekra, I ought to one every so I'll say he is thinking about hina me come me vacation. And me go say, yes, the Uba be hina me continue me drosika. Because I try me crazy be man and say me that one cry. So the package is not well. The package is not well, and I really think that we need to work on the package. The tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, also for me, I said that me so.
No, it is. Well, so we are saying say the organized labor they no atum. They are asking President Mahama to tread with caution.
He will tread with caution.
And so are we in a haste to throw away experience? But others are also asking, and we also in a haste to bring on new experience. Well, the organized labor has urged President Mahama to exercise caution in implementing his directive to suspend post-retirement contracts. And this appeal follows what the government had said, and this obviously from our brother, our father Joshua Ansa, the General Secretary of the TUC, who is also a member of the Methodist Church. Well, President Mahama has assured Ghanaians of a reset, and in resetting the agenda, the Constitution mandates a certain compulsory retirement, and this is at age 60. Uya ko na ekoko tenefie. Ashefo me sa to question na mamu, are we ready for this? Yema edwene enkonkonko tenefie. Na no kra na me bisa se, wo ye sakura man, e te se me sofo Adzika na che se wutiri ho de hwe ni ho should we allow younger people to also come in? Now, the interjection or the middle point or the midpoint is the fact that let's enhance training, mentorship. Now, for retirement, retirement into Minyakam. All right, so let's go back to the presidency. And yesterday was an occasion that welcomed the president of the Czech Republic, Mr. 𝗟𝗏𝗘, and this was one of a kind because according to President Mahama himself, since he became president, this is the first presidential visit of any president at all after his ascension to the biggest of all the seats in Ghana. Well, in a close narrative of the matter, Mamenken Kai Kakra and Chiramo. All right, now so the Czech president, Mr. 𝗟𝗏𝗘, joined John Dramani Mahama, the president of Ghana, His Excellency, and in this he has seriously criticized the tariffs on Africa as unfair and the imposition that was so done without consultation. This is something that we have all been talking about. But Mr. 𝗟𝗏𝗘 has said, so Donald Trump, a year a tour, what they ato Ghana so, ubi ne kana sem say, a tour kesia, what they ato Ghana so no, a year adia ebidi African pa, and this is what Mr. 𝗟𝗏𝗘 is saying. Also,
Mr. 𝗟𝗏𝗘, onya kanyenyeti masa onya kanyenyeti
na say enye ayi Ghana ni Africa nkwa na esu Europe for Christ.
Yes, because also let's face the reality now that where the world is going on, everybody is thinking about his or her country. Obia energy say they are protecting their territory. So African leadership should stop thinking about yes in the day of John the Baptist. We should start thinking about our own country. You see, for example, the tariff Donald Trump they are to China. So I lived in Hong Kong for a long time, and I know most of iPhones, for example, are American company, but just check will be using iPhone on check. It's made in China, and they will intentionally say assembled in China. Why? Because the labor cost there is cheaper. No. So the quality is the same, but in America, the minimum wage will be about $800 over.
Now, so far, we clarify this. You are lived in Hong Kong, Asia, gone to China and all that. How come, say, this is the place of assembling the iPhone? Nemum China kroya so near kwa sebe. Phone bodam for so they are bringing Africa for. What is the difference here? Please explain.
Actually, number one.
Please explain.
Remember, say, Oko China, Obi or Hemi Oko Jomo China be Oko. The same phones, let's say even the iPhone only. Baku daho $500 or $1,000. Baku daho $800. Baku daho $350. And then now look at everything more or less like the same. No more busa say, I didn't know so when $1,000, you know, yeah for US, our normal specification, plus first world countries like Europe, and even I would say Western Europe, not even Eastern Europe. This one is for Asia and second world countries. This one is for Africa and third world countries. So Kodaki from Ghana, no top way the Africa there no the Babaji Europe war and American war. And only problem no because China will never let you take your money. So only China ni on pewasem say who run a shop or the defe sabe mo atade. You see, what man for Zikanko, I say okay, more Africa for most per iPhone. According to your budget. The Bible says according to your eating. Okay. Europe for and as well, America for me. But yeah, talk fake now. Near the above abaye a traveling boat to say that. So that is actually the problem. Okay. And even now, let's talk about Huawei. Huawei is a 100% American Chinese company, and they are doing very well. Also, for the cars are cars. Every China ever now, it will come to a time they overtake US and they are doing now their emphasis on quality. I had a client or a Chinese in it, very big. I think I mentioned one time. His name is Jimmy Go, or say American China government now. So we are there na a cheap now pretend they say a expensive one Nibia. You yourself will go jail, and I saw it many times. How many times people went to jail? Okay, Chinese embassy, China embassy was a Chinese embassy. It can again has said Chinese for me galam say. Omo yensem hunu no mo anka omo anya illegal ya. Monchi omuntum. Yeah, they said it. Chinese people are serious people. They are very very straight. Monchi omuntum. Sisi etie ya ena kuje tone ayi Miami MP we what they call this one? Aswase even say muntaka he say mumi empamu omo so mo ye ne mo empamu omo. But so what are we doing here? Ade na a situation by show young formal group. It's just a bad in Africa. That's our problem actually.
All right. So thank you for clarifying that bit of why one same phone. Yeah, the back over America. Near the back over Ghana.
As a massive powder.
Contain so phone. I know the shift from town phone and so. But President Pavel said this, and I quote, I think imposing tariffs in such a brutal way really doesn't help either side. And so this is where the discussion is also for. You can impose tariffs. That is your country. But remember that America also has trade routes and trade links with other countries.
Exactly.
Why don't you sit us down? Let's have a discussion. Because even within the American establishment in Ukraine, more Republicans are against him. But you see, people are also saying that this is what Donald Trump promised he was going to do.
That's why they voted for him.
On it. And that's why people voted for him.
Because Donald Trump is not African politician. When they come and say one thing and do other thing. You see, and this is the thing. The trade war actually is not for us. The trade war is between America, Europe, and specifically not even the whole European Union and China.
Assume you know.
That is the point. And assume you know. Okay. And so this is the thing. Also for the TA, I therefore will bear me witness. It won't be long. You will see, say, America will reduce their tariffs from other countries. Why? Because Donald Trump is now expecting us. So okay, Adzika. Let's sit down and talk. The arrogant people will not and say that I'm also going to impose. That's where the trade war comes.
That's what some people have started doing. China,
and so,
especially.
Yes, and so now what President Mahama is doing is a very smart one.
Okay.
And that's what he is actually engaging Okujeto and some other this thing to have Georgia with the president because that 10%, you know, is across board though, and yeah, because of Ghana, that one is across board. 10%, you know, what he too. How could a person like maybe a certain country
China
give? No, it's 35. It's 35 from America, China, but China to America, how much? It's 60 something.
Okay, yes, yes.
You know, and Donald Trump is feeling I don't think because of say ye pe shesheni huhunti ye tuska gusa na momo DCC. No. It is time say either you respect us.
Some people are also
or
saying say it is an attempt to help Africans to do a cost cutting and to be able to manage their finances. But for the first time, the president has waded into this conversation, although he had sent his foreign minister and deputy trade. This time, he has also said so. President Mahama has expressed concern over the recent decision by the United States to impose tariffs on imports from African countries, including Ghana, and thus we know it is an order enshrined in the International Emergency Economic Powers Act of 1977. This is what Ora Donald Trump wagina so what they yet. There are divergent views, divergent
and
views.
And
Sebio, umami or retirement. Any yeah, mamma, no, me, papa, no, only the Nikoto no per se a journal. So when we do some of all those discussions, they are asking tea, software, ye bay a day near Drianidi. Ye bay a day, yet Timia Cornea, but near ye be about between your tight, near ye be try your collection. Or software, concluding on this, how does all this tariffs imposition affect the ordinary Ghanaian? Okay, so for example, say, media dear for US ba na 200 Ghana. Now you the 10% tariffs at Toswa, so it's going to go more than 200 Ghana. Into me Ghana no masobeshi, hobechire me. To me so me this can be toso and san maton. To me so some this can be toso and san maton. At the end of the day no, the final consumer me no ya na ho chire yen. Eno na aban bem. The normal me no either say aban no so be ye imposition of tariffs no so to their home ho say bia yan so America for better normal na ye tariffs no 30% e na ye no 50% say na be ya e be balance or we go to the tangent that John Mahama is going, which I like, and other humble nation, not arrogant ones. Let's go and sit down with the old man and with what's his name? Donald Trump. And yes, I think say looking at the nature of Donald Trump and also crowd warping. Exactly. Let's come to the table. Flies. You want to show that he is the man. And that was exactly the reason why Americans voted for him. This is the thing also for nations are now start thinking about themselves. Ghana, our leaders should start thinking about ourselves and just stop always. We want to go respect the biana or down. All right. Inti woman ya chechire ya che nkranfo kra dia tonyum se woje shon chiripa ya ba be sin na yentimi enhu ba bi ayeko ani yehu baby so subscribe say you cry you free kutuko pa ye de kurashe mu de ebe me say aboye papa say de sebe jonso abo akoko. But minority is also speaking. Let's go to the House of Parliament and hear what the minority is saying. Now the minority in Parliament has formally petitioned the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps and Ambassador of Lebanon to Ghana, His Excellency 𝗟𝗡𝗙𝗘, to intervene in the ongoing controversy surrounding the alleged suspicious flight from Gran Canary that landed at the Kotoka airport. Now it appears the minority say onjai asemu onu ni susu yemu no sumasi dwabi ekoso, and we need to nip it in the mud. That's what minority is also for. Okay, I guess you say the I heard for the WTV and you know na you can't want them because when you have evidence be I say because one here I know be I say oh the team for you can they are to you I heard for any no say never one here ni aswaba be she ni bring ma waso be hero. Okay, so any no, but the fact and they say also this a year by as I may be can before no, I just had a strong conclusion said politicians, they don't care about we the people. At least Ghana politicians, no, they don't care about us. Why? Because any who say MPP time sikakoko I gold bar. I used to say, ring about 2x4 class. It's more than $1,000. And this how have you go bar like this? You are talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now what we contain about? Can you imagine? We contain about 12. Ghana is a rich country. And this is for you, Omotono. And I'm saying, I'm going to say, I said, don't take road to our room. Yes, you the any. So more evidence, so many evidence. You show me, I mean, I can try and for you.
Yeah, so benya. But the fact of the matter is that there's never a smoke without fire. So fire this song, so fire this one, there's fire. That is why now they are moving even step forward to go and now talk to the diplomatic corps because say idea the canon enya no kra and about this time no and come but to take it to the diplomatic corps meaning say bibi ho but as to say obetima ka say power say ensue Australian doer a free time no and I'm kutai no and then
it is so for yene ahwefo emubu asemi abasa nesrela the interest of ahwefo is really empampan ene home frama ebaye so say ye share WTV say ye tena ha ye dwedwem now many who were in the NDC who are really critics of the ex-while MPP government have said say na yewo abadwuma yoku a mo na mo hwe eye enuma bi te say airport on sense Ghana airport company narcotics control board mososomo this is an allegation being made by a respected member of parliament them say na what we mean use that so for so ye din so amanfo aso pan and a reverend because an reverend or reverend wo he
because onya reverend wo carries onya reverend wo your friend or so for me and friend reverend because reverend there for Methodist, Anglican and Catholic
it's a revered so many but many within the NDC especially Ghana Airport Company. Mubekaya. Mami awo Ghana Airport Company. Oye mami a.
Sisi ya mapamono.
Yon pamono. Yon pamono. Okasa. So for say ya pamono ana o mapamono. Obejo hu ye na